Hey, this is Elena with Black Sheep 303 Creative. Welcome to my Easter Critters card series. Today's project uses the Fawn Fancy Folded Banners die set to create a cute Happy Easter banner with a couple of critters on a fun, colorful card. So to start off with, I am stamping some flowers, leaves, and a butterfly using the Fab Flowers stamp set from Fawn. Almost everything in this is Fawn today. I'm on a Fawn roll, I guess. And I'm stamping this using my Misty stamping tool and some Gina K Designs ink, colored inks. Since these stamps are brand new and I hadn't really used them, they have not been seasoned really. So I'm using the Misty because normally when I haven't used stamps very much, they don't stamp perfectly well the first few times. So that's why I'm using the Misty, so I can ensure that I can stamp it a couple times to get some good ink coverage, since a lot of this is using colored inks as the base for the piece. So you'll see here, like when I open this, that pink is pretty spotty, but after one more time, it turns out much better. And the Gina K Designs inks are really nice because they're kind of like the shadow inks where they might look splotchy initially, but they dry down to a solid, which is really pretty. And then this stamp set also has a whole bunch of little detail pieces that you add on top. So there's like details on the butterfly wings and a body, and then details for the flowers. And for me, it was much easier to stamp those details using a block than to do it with the Misty. And that's just my personal taste, just how I wound up doing it. You can see those yellow flowers kind of got messed up, so I do wind up re-stamping those later, and I do an additional single leaf. So there you go, you see my new yellow flowers, and I'll be adding in the details to those as well. And there are a bunch of flowers in this set. I only used two that were, sort of the large and small version of the same type. But there's a couple different ones in addition to those, and they're really, really fun. And even though I initially thought this stamp set looked kind of boring, once I saw the projects for it, I really thought it was cool. And so I had to buy it, and I'm really glad I did because it's really fun and actually pretty versatile. Now for my greeting, I am using the Happy, Happy, Happy stamp set, also from Fawn, along with the matching dies. Originally, when I purchased this, I only purchased the dies, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to get the stamps to go with them because it's cute and I can use them. So I did wind up getting the stamps, and I'm pretty glad I did. But with this Happy, I was having some problems lining up the die with the stamped word real well. So to help me out, I am taking a piece where I've already die cut and lining the stamp up with the die cut, where it's, the opening where the die cut. And then I'm going to stamp, so I can make sure that I've got the stamp kind of positioned exactly as it's supposed to be. I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but occasionally, especially with stamps that are kind of loosey-goosey, like where you can move them around kind of easily, I sometimes move them incorrectly, and then to line up the die is kind of tricky. But that could just be me. So now I'm just lining up the die, and I will die cut it out. And I still didn't get it perfect, but it is close enough. I'm good with it. As if you've watched any of my other videos, you probably know that I am a fan of imperfection. I do think if you are making a handmade card, it's going to have faults on it, and that is as it should be. Now here is the banner so you cut two of those long banner pieces, and then you stick them together to create a double long banner. So it can be a little bit tricky to figure out exactly how to, fold them to line them up, but it's not tough at all to, once you get it the right way, to just stick it together with some double-sided tape. And I actually wind up moving this around and like changing it into the opposite direction. But it's really flexible, really versatile. As you can see, you could use just one of those pieces and you would have like half the size, and that's really cute. And then that die set also comes with two other banners that have like the little folds around them, and those are super cute too, like where it's more like a curved, like an arched banner. So it's a fun die set. And I like that big banner. That was why I bought it. So my card base is an A2 sized white top folding card base, and then I have this piece of pink paper that I cut from Gina K Designs bubblegum pink cardstock using the Elizabeth Craft Designs dotted scallops rectangle dies. That's a little hard to say. And that plaid piece is from the Lawn Fawn Perfectly Plaid 6x6 paper pack. It's the very original Perfectly Plaid paper pack. Say that 5 times fast. Anyway, so now I'm going to adhere the banner together, and it's pretty easy. I did, of course, not get it perfectly lined up, and so I had to trim it just a hair, but not really that big a deal. And then I wanted to have something contrasting on the back of the banner, and I wanted some polka dots, but I didn't have a paper that was the right colors to coordinate with the plaid. So I decided I would make my own polka dot using my Nuvo drops. So I'm just marking with a pencil like which piece is going to have the polka dots on it, because it can get a little confusing, and like how it's folded, etc. So I'm now just taking 3 different colors of Nuvo drops, and I'll take a marker and just putting dots on those 3 pieces of the banner to create my own polka dots. So I used Aquatic Mist glitter drops, Sherbet Shimmer glitter drops. This is Bubblegum Pink crystal drops. And then I'm going to use a yellow marker to add my yellow dots, because I didn't have any yellow drops, obviously. But it worked just fine. Like, I don't think you can even tell. And so there you see the completed banner. And now I'm just going to stamp Easter in Passionate Pink from Gina K Designs on the middle. I didn't use my Misty for that because it was kind of tough to get the banner into just the right place and not have it move. So that's why I just did it this way. And I used the weights or the magnets to weight it down. And then I added 2 little hearts to either side. And both the Easter and the 2 little hearts are from the Lawn Fawn Extra Special Easter stamp set. And so to adhere the corners together on the banner, I'm just using some double stick tape. I didn't want to get adhesive all over the banner, just into the little corners where it was going to fold onto itself. And now I'm adhering the Happy die cut with some Zig 2A glue pen, and I'll just adhere this down and use an acrylic block to weight it down while it dries. And then I have die cut out all the other matching pieces of my little decorative elements. So I'm adhering my plaid paper down to the front of my card base with the ATG gun. I added some piece of fun foam to the back of the scalloped pink panel, and now I'm just gluing that down with some double stick tape. So it's a little bit raised off the back. And now I am just going to adhere my little flowers and butterflies and everything and leaves together. Of course, I do have to add sparkle first. I cannot not have sparkle. I have to have sparkle. So I sparkled up the little details on the flowers and the wings on the butterfly, and then the little detailed stripe vein kind of in the leaves as well. And when I originally started this card, I thought this is going to be kind of simple and won't take too long, and it'll be an easy card to put together. And then it kind of got out of control. Got a little out of hand because I cannot stop adding details. But in the end, when you see it, I think the details are really what makes the card work as a total whole. Hopefully that makes sense. Because I do kind of keep adding details as I go, and you'll see here. So that's kind of my layout. So I'm just going to use double stick tape to adhere down the flowers and everybody to the pink piece, as well as the banner. A lot of the little details were going behind the banner, so it was easier to stick them down first. Although the bunny and the little yellow flower go on top of the banner, so I will adhere the banner down after that. And so to adhere my banner down, I am just going to put adhesive on those 3 ones that are the 3 pieces of the banner that touch the pink. I wanted to leave the 2 in the front not touching to add some dimension to the card. And I thought it would kind of do it on its own, but it didn't do it as much as I would have liked. So I do add some foam dots that you will see later. Now that Easter Bunny is a sticker, so I just had to take the backing off of him to stick him down. And then I'm tucking the little yellow flower in, and then I'm going to just put a small piece of double-sided adhesive on the middle of the butterfly only, so that his wings will still stick up. And this was kind of my planned stopping point on this card, but when I looked at it, I felt like, again, it needed a little more something something. So I added, of course, some more sparkle marker to the happy and then the hearts. And then I took out my sequins and I had to add some sequins. So I have Pretty Pink Posh 4mm clear droplets, which are probably my favorite thing in the world as far as sequins go. And then some assorted moonshine sequins from Simon Says Stamp for the rest of them. And that added like just the right amount of little detail-y sparkle here and there. And then after that, I had to put some dimension behind the banners, as I mentioned. So I used some small foam dots and I just stuck them under using my tweezers here. I put 2 under each side of the banner to kind of pop them up. And that actually made a big difference. It really looks good with them popped up. And also, I broke out my glossy accents and I added glossy accents just to the little dots in the centers of the flowers. And that catches the light a little bit too. And so I think it was all those little tiny details that really kind of bring the whole design together in the end. So there you can see a lot of the little details. And so it started off as a simple card, wound up being a little bit more labor intensive, but I think the result, if I do say so myself, is really cute and really fun and colorful. And I have to say that Fab Flowers stamp set is really cool. And I like that fancy folded banners die set too. It's a little bit tricky to find, but it is worth it. And as always, there is a supply list linked in the video description below and over on my blog. If you liked the video, love it if you give me a thumbs up, and I'd love to get a comment from you. Here are a couple more videos in my Easter Critters card series if you're interested in those. And as always, I appreciate you watching, taking the time. Hope you have a fabulous Easter and a wonderful day.